1, 2.
Here we go. Hey, hey. Story time. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It's story time.
Been waiting for a long time, gotta do it. And don't let nothing hold me down, gotta do it. Cause I may not get another chance, I believe it. If I want it, I can have it, I believe it. Done with falling, done with losing, I can do it. I think I'll tell myself again, I can do it. Yeah. And I'm not so sad till I win.
Now you should be able to hear me. Can you hear me now? There we go. You have me backstage, baby. I'm ready.
All right, I added you. Come on Instagram. Come on Instagram.
You are super low.
Everybody. It's story time.
She's a diva full of drama, don't believe her. Hearing things that people say and not twisted. So much fiction, not much bad.
There we go.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody got time for that. See my moment.
Good evening, GMOE. How you doing? I see you got your decoration behind you. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Instagram. All right. Good evening, everybody. It is story time. I am Crystal Bodie Smith, and I am so excited because I have an amazing young man here tonight. His name is Greg. They call him GMOE. And I just want to say hello to you out there on every platform that you may be following, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you are on the internet. We want to say hello to you. GMOE, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you perfect. I hear you really well. Yes, ma'am.
Excellent, excellent. That's all I wanted to know. Listen, I want to thank you so much for taking time to come out here today because I know that your time is valuable. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for what we are going to share with the people today, because a lot of times I do these story time interviews with individuals, but I have to say you are the first one that I have that is really literally like fighting for his life. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big deal to me because, you know, the flyer that I had, it said the topic tonight was fighting for your life. And I had in caption in big red letters that cancer sucks. And a little bit about me. I lost my mom, my dad, and my brother to cancer. My sister has had cancer 4 times, 3 brain surgeries, 2 strokes, and now dementia, and I take care of them. So I'm really serious when it comes to this cancer thing because I've seen it. I've been through hospice 3 times, so I understand it real well. And so I'm just grateful to you for coming on. And I just want to tell all you people out here, whether you are on Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are, just come on and just feel free to join us. I get a little feedback on something. All right. So, GMOE, for the people who've never met you before, and I know your name is Greg, and I know a lot of people call you GMOE, I just want to tell them just a little bit about you. I know when you sent me the information that you were born in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
Okay, that's good. Tulsa. Now, let me do something so I can get your face a little clear. I don't know if it's the position. It might be the thing behind you. That picture behind you might be blocking you out a little bit. I want to see you a little clear. Make sure you're clear. So turn a little bit so I can make sure that you're clear so I can see you to the, yeah. Because I see you in the middle. Move over to the middle. Yeah. It's a shadow, like a little shadow. So I want to move that shadow from behind you. It might be the black picture behind you. So I want to make sure you don't have a shadow. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit better there. So you actually moved from Tulsa to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm in North Carolina. So that's a beautiful thing at the age of 10, and you were in Charlotte. So you finished high school in Charlotte, and then you spent some time in prison, I see. And so let's start a little bit there. I always like to tell people to start with their childhood and who they are as an individual. So take me back to the childhood days, even before the prison days and all that. Tell me about who was Greg, the little boy.
Greg, the little boy, was a very ambitious young man. He had a lot of dreams. He wanted to win a gold medal in the Olympics. So my father was going to do, and probably about set. You know what I'm saying? Watching the Olympics, I was always into sports. So my mom, she made sure that I was involved in different activities up to a certain point. You know what I mean? Being in Oklahoma, I felt a lot more love. I felt a lot more connection because it's family. When we left, things kind of changed for me. But the kid in Oklahoma was a very innocent person. He was trying to figure out who he was as a person. I still didn't know that I was as big as I was. I always thought that I was a little person, but I was really big. Then from there, like I said, we pretty much moved from Oklahoma to North Carolina. I was like 10. I watched my mom and dad go through a lot of stuff in Oklahoma.
So were mom and dad married for a long time?
They were married for about a year, and then I believe they separated. You know what I'm saying? My dad was a player in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And so.
Papa had a Rolling Stone wherever he lay. Okay.
Yeah, my brother is a year and 3 days younger than me.
Yes.
That was that. My mom, she has a testimony. She dealt with dealing drugs. Then she became a minister. That's her story to tell, but that's just the basics of it. Then from there, we moved to North Carolina. We left the drugs, the gangs, and all that here in Oklahoma to move to North Carolina to have a better shot at life. I'm assuming. And but she was better. I can't complain. Met a lot of nice people there. I played football and basketball.
Oh.
In North Carolina.
Okay.
I played for a church league. I tried to make a school team. Didn't quite work out. You know what I'm saying? Made high school football team. I was made quit because of some situations where my grades that's trace for my grades wasn't slipping. I was sleeping in class. So it was one of those things where either you stop sleeping or you got to quit the team. So it was one of those things where she kind of forced me to quit. And, parents do things because of what they know with what they got at the time. You know what I'm saying? She did the best she could with the tools that she had at the time. You know what I mean? So from there, I stopped playing football. Was a little upset. I got into some. I got sent back to Oklahoma to stay with my dad for a little while. Came back to the Carolinas. Me and mom wasn't quite seeing eye to eye on how a young man should carry himself. I got 16, got a job, so working, like I said, playing on the football team, doing my thing. I decided to get my ears pierced. You know what I mean? And she was like, "Yeah, buddy, either the earring go or you go." Yeah,
Wow.
so that was the beginning of me trying to become an adult. I left the house. I got with some guys. They made sure that I went to football practice. They made sure I went to school every day. They partied hard every night. They were into something that I didn't know quite what it was. So I was like, y'all work at Wendy's. They make me manager, whatever the case may be. But yeah, they were ended up catching payroll checks. At the end of the day, that's what it was.
So let me ask you a question. So you were pretty healthy as a child.
Yeah.
So didn't have any issues going back and forth to the doc and everything. Played on a couple of teams and everything went well. So you had a normal childhood life. That's good. And so as you got older, fell in love, got married, had children.
Yeah.
Wow. So
But
let me ask you this. Did you ever have any dreams to be a athlete, like go to the NBA or NFL, anything like that when you played on those teams?
yeah, I wanted to go to the NFL. I wanted to be a linebacker or a running back. You know what I'm saying? I had the potential, had the skills, just didn't have the right guidance in my life. You know what I mean? After that, to be honest, after I left my mom's house before going to prison, I actually played on the semi-pro team.
Okay, I'm looking at the comments. I got them. Go ahead, keep telling me what you're telling me. I'm going to suggest to the people on Instagram to come over to the YouTube. I'm going to suggest that you come over to the YouTube. If you're having a lag and it'll be smoother for you, just come over to YouTube. And if you put in APW Shout Crystal, then you won't have any problems with that. We wanted to be considerate of those that are on Instagram that may not be tech savvy. But if you come over to YouTube, you won't have any issues at all. So I just wanted to put that out there. So come over to YouTube to continue with the show if you're having any issues. I hear some people say they are and some are not. So let me ask you this. So who was your favorite team growing up? Football and basketball.
My favorite team, I didn't have a team per se. I was a player type of person. I like different players in the NBA when it came to that. Once the Charlotte Hornets I became a Charlotte Hornets fan. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I was at. That's why I rep. I believe in repping hometown team. You know what I mean? Um, College wise, I'm always an OU fan. I've always been an OU fan and a team fan, which is Tulsa University, Golden Hurricanes. In case nobody didn't know, we be doing some things out there. Uh, or as the NFL, I was always a Dallas Cowboys fan. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan since I was knee high. My mama got me some Tony Dorsett cleats, shoulder pads, helmet. Me and my brother went out for Christmas, knocked each other's teeth out. We had a good time. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so NFL, Dallas Cowboys, NBA, it's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know what I mean? That's my squad. I still focus with the Charlotte Hornets, but for the most part, Oklahoma has a team, so I'm going to rep Oklahoma. That's what it is. MLB is going to be the LA Dodgers. And the reason being the LA Dodgers is because their former team is here in Tulsa, which is the Tulsa Drillers. So everybody that comes to the Tulsa Drillers end up going to the LA Dodgers. So that's why the LA Dodgers is my favorite MLB team.
So you had quite a bit going on. So what happened that landed you in prison? Was it a simple mistake? Was it following the wrong crowd? How did that happen? And what year was you then? Were you in high school, middle school? When did that take place?
So basically, I'm still in high school. I got charged as an adult because I got emancipated because I left my mom's house. She didn't want to be responsible for me not going to school, so forth, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So with the emancipation, I'm considered an adult. So everybody else that was in school, they got charged as juvies. In my case, I was 17. You're gonna be 18 that summer. So yeah, they charged me as an adult. Basically, the guys, like I said, I was staying with, they had some guys they knew, and we started running up the checks. You know what I'm saying? White collar crime, didn't have a lot of time, but just that little bit of time and that experience allowed me to know this is not where I want to be at as an adult. You can't pay me to do nothing wrong. I'm not. I'm just not. Like I told somebody one time, they don't have to kill me for me to go back to prison.
Wow. So did you go through that time by yourself, or did you have someone visiting you and writing you? A lot of time people have, the people accepting those collect calls.
Right. So I was a lot like my father. I had a lot of females. I had a main girl, but I had other side females or whatnot. My main girl ended up leaving me while I was there. Ended up finding out while I was in prison, a child wasn't mine. Young lady
Wow.
said a child was mine that, I really wanted to be a father to, but it just wasn't time. You know what I'm saying? We were young. I feel like if we were a little bit more mature, we could have talked it out and maybe worked something out. Because she was a good person to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But yeah, my main girl, which I call my baby mama to this day, we had two children. You know what I'm saying? One of them she miscarried, the other one pretty much stillborn. They didn't have the technology that they have now to be able to help her survive. Her lungs wasn't developed. To be honest. Nevertheless,
Is she the one that you wind up marrying?
I ended up, when I got out of prison, I ended up going back home. My wife and I both from originally Tulsa, Oklahoma. What happened was, let's get into that. I was with my son's mom. My son's mom and I didn't work out, and I was still kind of messing around with her. But then I met my wife through the drive-through as a manager, and I used the daughter to kind of, you know what I'm saying, finesse the moves. I was like, man, it's a beautiful daughter. You mind if I get a little ice cream, whatever? I asked, like, you know, daddy don't mind. You know, I want her to go back to Adhd. She's like 10 around, whatever. So I shot my shot, you know what I'm saying? About a year later, we ended up getting married.
Wow.
We moved. I was in North Carolina when I got married. I went back to school to get my high school diploma. I actually dropped out of school because of the whole check scamming thing, and they had me believing that I wasn't gonna be able to go to college. It was just a lot. You know
Wow.
Nevertheless, I was up there to get the high school diploma. We got married. She went back home to Oklahoma. I moved back home to Oklahoma with her. About a year into our marriage, she told me God told her that we need to move to Atlanta. At the time, I'm in the streets banging, slanging, doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I respect women and any male that follows the Lord. And so if a message is given to them to give to me, I'm going to listen.
Okay.
I've been to prison. I knew what that was. My mom told me when I was younger, you know, you got to listen. When God calls on you, you got to listen. So,
Wow.
Nevertheless,
That's deep. That's good. That's good. So you respect the women's intuition. So let me ask you this. So let's fast forward a little bit because the title of this show is You Fighting for Your Life. So somewhere in there, you got sick. How did you get sick? How old were you when you got sick? And how did that process begin?
all right, so that's, you know, just for affirmation and the power of words, let's just say.
You are healed in Jesus' name. Okay? You are healed.
So I got a diagnosis. I don't have anything. You know, I'm not healed or nothing. I'm healed. Like you said, by Jesus' stripes, I am healed. That's what the word of God says. That's all I believe.
Yes, yes, yes,
Stripes, I am healed. You know?
yes,
Bled on the cross for me. You know what I mean? So that's all I believe.
yes.
I was at work. My mom had told me prior to go get checked out. You know, you need to get your colon checked out. As a heterosexual black male, I'm not with nobody sticking nothing up there. You know, I just like, man, you crazy. You know, the crazy part, my spiritual dad would joke about it. You know what I'm saying? He kept telling me, you know, when you get up to 30, when you get to 40, you need to go ahead and have your colon checked. You know, he was like, you want to get you a female doctor, you know, because she got little fingers. But I you know, and I was just like, hearing stuff like that makes me like, I'm good. You know, if anything shake or crumble, I'm good. And so that's my thing. That's my thing right now. I'm telling people, don't be that guy. Don't be like me. You know what I'm saying? Wait until you get to stage 3B, which is the step 4, which, you know, a lot of times when we get to stage 4, is, you know, let's try to make your quality of life the best that we can.
Yes, yes, yes. So you are now out here trying to help men and telling them the importance of going to get that checkup annually, to go to the doctor and to listen to their body and to make sure they're insured and to make sure they take care of themselves so they can be here for their children or their family. So that's awesome. So, and I want to touch and agree with what you said earlier about your stripes being healed. This program is being shared because as both of us are believers, we do understand the power of words, but we're taking you back through the process to help someone who maybe has been negligent, who maybe has been ignoring their body, who thinks it's a joke, who just maybe just doesn't have insurance. And if you don't have insurance, you can still go to the hospital. There's ways of still getting checked out. So this is why we're doing this, because this young man wants to help other people. He realizes that he is a living testimony, and he wants to make sure that through everything that he had been delivered from, that he helps someone else through the process. And, you know, they said without no test, there is no testimony. So he's giving you his testimony so that you don't have to go through the same test that he has already passed. Okay. So we don't want you to fail the test, so we're trying to help you. So one of the things I learned was that CA-125. Have you ever heard of that test? The CA-125, the blood test.
No, ma'am.
The CA-125, like I said earlier in the show, if you're just coming on, that I lost my mom, my dad, and my brother to cancer as well, and my sister has had cancer, and they've had all kinds, from liver cancer to myeloma to lung cancer to leukemia. But one of the things that I do on a regular basis is when I go get checked and do my annual, I do a CA-125. When they draw blood, they cannot deny me, and I tell them, listen, do a CA-125. Let me tell you something, people, they won't volunteer that information because that's a very expensive blood test. It's a very expensive blood test. But if you have had cancer in your family through anywhere in your bloodline, they can't deny you. And it detects it early. It detects it early on, the CA-125. Somebody needs to type that in both of these chats so that people know CA-125, that's important. So was there anything that you found out that you would pass on to someone that you figured out, like were there any signs or anything that you started thinking back once you realized and got this diagnosis?
Right. So yeah, there were signs. Not clearly annoyed them. I really ignored the upset stomachs, uh, improper bowel movements, uh, just being stressful when you don't really need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my mom kept trying to get me to go get tested. I wasn't really feeling it. To put a person at ease, I always recommend watching the earthquake special because that's the best special you can watch. To put your mind at ease, to let you know that you're not the only one that got to go through this. You know what I'm saying? And it can be a joke, but at the end of the day, it's your life. Because, like I said, it started out as rectal cancer 3B, which is the stage before 4. And they say that that's when it hits the lining of the walls and it starts spreading throughout the body. So we did what we could to get rid of that. I'm successful with that. The test, the surgery was a success. So I had the tumor removed. It was the size of a tangerine, and then it shrank to about the tip of my thumb. So, um,
So irregular bowel movement. Now for men, y'all don't really pay that no mind. I know women, we have cramps and we have all these things happening that kind of remind us, you know what I'm saying? So for men, I don't think y'all don't go to the doctor and y'all don't experience as much as we do because y'all want made to have babies and stuff.
let me explain when I say irregular bowel movements, and the man will understand irregular bowel movements. They call pencil boo boos or baby boo boos, and then you still feel like you gotta go, and you can't go. You see what I'm saying? Because you got that blockage in your lining. You feel what I'm saying? And so, you think that you need to change your diet, change your food. Let me eat something. I'm gonna tell you something. The moment that I ate cereal and I didn't run off, I should have known then something was wrong. Because most of the times whenever I eat cereal, I normally have a loose bowel movement. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if you are what they call aware and you pay attention to your body, these things you will notice them. And it's not hard to notice them. The pain is what really had me to go and get checked out. If I didn't have the pain that I had at my job, the night that it happened, I would have probably ended up in stage 4. You know, but yeah, I had a lot of abdomen pain. Felt like somebody was stabbing me and stepping on my stomach with stilettos. Like I said, I couldn't go to the bathroom regularly. It's like I had to go every 15 minutes and try to push it out, but I couldn't push it out. It's a situation of constipation. But there is a pain that's associated with it, and it's like in the gut. You know what I'm saying? It's like the stomach is nuts. So,
So,
that's,
so let me ask you a question. Was it ever an issue for you being prideful? I know men sometimes are prideful. Sometimes they're taught to be tough. They're taught to hold things in, not to complain, not to show any emotion. Was there time, or do you think that there could be some man that could be watching this that could maybe be ignoring their signs for reasons like that because of their pride?
yes. And that's why with me and my mom, I didn't do it. It was pride. I got to be honest. My pride would not let me feel like I need to go to the doctor. I'm healthy. I'm moving around. I'm able to lift up lawnmowers. When I'm talking about lawnmowers, I'm like riding lawnmowers. healthy. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm not losing no weight, none of that. But that's another thing. I end up sort of losing weight. I didn't pay that any attention. You will lose weight when you go through having that diagnosis before you really are just messed up, because I thought the weight loss was just due to stress and not eating properly, because I had just made a move from Atlanta back to Oklahoma on faith. You know what I'm saying? I believe God that, this growing stuff is going to work. And it's working for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. But, nevertheless, I felt like that's what the issue was. But that clearly was not the issue.
Wow. So now where you are in your stage right now, you have regular periodic visits to the doctor. Do you have to have like transfusions or do anything like that? What is the process like for you now? Because I know just recently a couple of times, because you're out here. You're out here on the internet. You engage with us, and I know sometimes we see you. The picture I used was you in the hospital. You sometimes have ups and you have downs. Tell us about that process, and tell us about what kind of mindset you have to get through that process.
Okay. So you got to be a strong-minded person first of all. And the reason why I say you got to be a strong-minded person, because your mind plays tricks on you. You start looking at the numbers. What is my survival rate? Can this be beaten? So forth. My first diagnosis, it was 80-20, percent chance that my age range that I survive is not have to worry about it no more. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's not the case. I don't know, but it's spread into my liver. So now I'm at stage 4 liver cancer, and they're telling me that I'll be dealing with this for the rest of my life. I got a 50-50 shot at it.
So you have it's in your liver. That's what my brother had. So I need to get you. I can't remember what it was. Aloe vera juice. I know aloe vera juice was good. And guys, we got to go back to the home remedies. Some of them home remedies work, but also I know that you have a strong faith. So can you imagine what somebody would go through not having faith being in this situation? Because faith of the mustard seed is what gets us through. And you said they got to have a strong mind. Well, as a man thinketh, so is he. That's the scripture. It says, as you think, so are you. So if you think you're defeated, then you're defeated. If you think you're afraid, then that has a lot to do with it. And the other thing is you have to make sure you watch the people you have around you, also how they think and how they talk. Do you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am. I totally agree with that 110%. That's why, to be honest, when I first got diagnosed, I didn't tell nobody. It was because of our friend Auntie Gina that my nephew and my brother and my son ended up finding out. Because I wasn't telling nobody. I was just trying to get through the surgery, get back on my feet, you know what I'm saying, and act like nothing happened. But that's not the case. Like you said, it's a test, and it's going to be a testimony. You know what I mean? And so, why not me? A lot of times we think to ourselves, why me, God? Why me? And in my situation, why not? Like you said, I'm somewhat of a
Yeah.
figure. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the entertainment industry. A lot of those guys know me. So, why not me?
Yeah. Now, so you've been around. You've been an athlete. You've been in entertainment, and your father. And do you have custody of your child or your children? You have custody of one of your children, but you have your child quite often, though.
Yeah. I'm an active father. I believe in that because my dad, he was active. He used to come and get me and my brother. He used to come get me a lot. I can't speak for my brother because he has a different view on it. And I remember as a kid, me and him being in the car. But he was like, he really just, he do anyway. So yeah, I love my children. I'm gonna be there for my young. I want my first son's mom. She did everything that she could to try to keep us from, having that relationship. But I fought for it. You see what I'm saying? Went to court, all that. I'm gonna be in my child's life because I know what it's like to not have him there 24/7. Want him there 24/7. You know what I mean? So with my girls, that's the main reason why I stuck out my marriage as long as I did, is because I wanted to be, one, a good example. Two, I wanted to make sure that I instill something in them that would stick with them for the rest of their life. watch me go with a push more and say, I'm not coming back until I got $100. You know what I'm saying? To building up a truck where I got all type of equipment to cut a yard with hedges, edgers, weed eater, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you need to be an official alarm provider. They watch me, like I said, go on these movie sets, deal with these celebs, watch me do security at some of the toughest clubs in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Do security for some high level D-listers and maybe one or two A-listers. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. One of the things I always tell people about, because a lot of times people also are not prepared. Do you feel as though you were prepared for this? Like a lot of people, sometimes they don't have insurance, but sometimes they don't have a doctor. So you had all of that when this took place, correct?
To be honest, I'm upside down right now. I'm actually living with somebody. Okay, so check it, right? Before I got diagnosed, I was working a job. The guy I was renting my house from, he sold the house from underneath me. You know what I'm saying? He wanted me to buy it. I didn't want to buy it. I was late on my rent. He said he can't keep dealing with me being late, which was only like twice or so, in a 6 month period. But he got his money. You know what I'm saying? That lets us sell that house. I ended up having to try to find a home. I got a newborn that's being born. My son is here. My daughters are here. It's like, man, what is going on, God? So I realized, man, I gotta reset. You know what I'm saying? And get back right. I sent my daughters back home to Atlanta. You know, I stayed in the house until they were time for them to go back. I told them, look, bro, I got my kids here. You have to give me more than 30 days. I said, because technically, you really can't do this. He's like, oh, yeah, I can because you broke the lease. And then technically, I could have said, well, take me to court. I didn't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I made sure that I left the house the way I sent it to me and all of that. But I wasn't just leaving until I finished my visit with my daughters. Once they left and my son packed up the house, I paid, was paying for rent for him to stay with his granddad and stuff like that. And then I was staying with my son's mom because he was newborn. And then I took a trip and things kind of went haywire because she felt like I shouldn't be taking no trip.
So I want to make sure. I want to make sure, because I heard you say no. You said you were upside down. I want to make sure that after we do this live, I get with you to make sure that you have everything you need. Because I do a segment every month with an agent, and we talk about critical illness, health insurance, life insurance, financial assistance for people who don't have life insurance, and we have different resources. And that's one of the things I do with Storytime. I have a special segment on just the insurances and ways that people can be covered. So I want to make sure that you have everything you need. I want to make sure I have that conversation with you if you're up to it offline, to make sure that you have everything you need for that. And I want to commend you for, you said you sent the children back to make sure they were good. So I want to ask you right now, how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically? How are you feeling now?
Today is a great day. I feel great. I feel outstanding. I was able to get up for church. I hadn't been to church in a very long time. So went and gave praise and my due respect to the house. Mentally, every day is a challenge. Mentally, because your mind, it is what it is. It'll play tricks on you. Like I said, I messed up by going on the internet about this last diagnosis and thought I only had 5 years. Had it been 10 years ago, yeah, that would have been the case. But medicine is a lot different now. So, the thing I deal with a lot is that 50-50 ordeal.
And, and I want to say this, no matter what you read, no matter what they say, you always want to claim the opposite. Like, even if the doctors say something, you can still tell them, okay, well, I'm gonna be your miracle patient, So we want you to know that you don't have to accept the diagnosis, okay? You want to accept it in the point of changing your lifestyle and understanding what you need to do to prolong your life, but you don't have to accept it to the point where you stop thinking optimistically and you stop activating your faith. You have to put action with your faith and begin to take steps to meet God where He is. If you have a relationship with anybody, in any higher power, you have to meet them where they are by taking those steps and starting out with the words. And if you start saying things every day to yourself, then you'll be good with that. So I'm happy to hear that. So if there's somebody watching this right now who is feeling like you were feeling like, I mean, I have never been in a situation like you were that last time when you did a post and you said, I thought I was out of here, man. I thought I was gone. Take us to that day, and how did you get through that day, and how would you help somebody who might be watching this, who might be there now?
Okay, first of all, you gotta lose pride. That's what made me be in that situation. Um, I've been going through this somewhat on my own. You know what I mean? I got one friend I can honestly say that she's been there from the beginning until now. She'll do whatever. Call her, she getting up out of her bed, she gonna do whatever. You know what I'm saying? My son's mom, she means well. She really does. It's just, I feel like a lot of it is emotional. You know what I'm saying? That you're not together, whatever the case may be. I don't know, but sometimes I just feel like she's a little rough around the edges, and she don't mean no harm. She means the best, but I like a kind, gentle touch. Nevertheless, when the last Wednesday, a week ago almost, I had got the diagnosis about the 50-50 situation and all of that, these numbers. I was I was hot. I was pissed. I ain't gonna lie. I was mad because I'm praying, I'm meditating, I'm speaking out affirmations every day, and I'm seeing myself walking to this place, and this man telling me, well, guess what? That's not what it was. You go downstairs, you can ring the bell after that's what I envisioned. But God said that's not it. So don't go to this. Don't let some people know that you gotta stay strong mentally. What I mean by that, just keep telling yourself, God got me. And that's what I do when I hit dark places, because you hit them. You deal with the number game that has been spoken to you. You deal with the fact that you got pain that sometimes people don't realize you got. Right now, I got a ileostomy bag. You know what I'm saying? I got a port in. I got a foreign object in my body. Like, I don't feel sexy. You know what I'm saying? So it's mentally a fight every day to wake up and say, thank you, God, that I don't have no pain. But then the days I wake up with pain, I be like, God, I'm healed by your stripes. In Jesus' name. Uh, I can do all things through Christ. These are different affirmations and verses that I gotta say to myself so that I don't fall into that depression. Because the first diagnosis, it did have me down. I was depressed. I was feeling like, get it, I don't want to do this. But then I looked at my son and I was like, I gotta do this because he needs me. You know what I'm saying? My 12-year-old, she needs me. I tell people the other two, they good. They can have their 18 years with me, but they need me.
Yes, yes, yes,
They still need me.
yes,
I felt like after my father passed, I needed me.
yes. And Dr. Rowland just came in here. That's the young lady that I told you about that could offer information regarding the different insurances, health, critical illness, and all of them.
Okay.
But now, let me ask you a question. So, family sometimes can be a challenge. Uh, I want to know what you would tell someone who may not have been very supportive. Is there anything more that family can do to support? Is there anything more? You said you don't have too many friends. What can family do when a person is in a situation like you? The phone calls, the visits, the positive. I mean, what is it that family can do? Is your family there for you? And if they're not there, we as your Instagram family, what can we do? How can we give you that, what you might be missing from your immediate family?
Okay, so I'm not missing anything from the immediate family, which would be my mother and my sister, my little brother. They have been very supportive. My mom has actually taken on the financial challenge, making sure that, the one little bill, because at first I had a lot of bills. We kind of eliminated a lot of stuff to where I only got a phone bill that, she take care of. I really need to be able to try to generate some money to be able to pay the guy that I stay with. You know what I'm saying? Um, Other than that, like I was getting ready to get into earlier, I was working at the job. I ended up getting my car towed. They repossessed my car, and granddad, I'm gonna take care of you, I'm gonna take care of him. And I was catching rides, and I was like, just give me about 3 months, and I'll be out of here because that's my goal. My job that I was working, I know in 3 months I have enough cash to go get another car, get another house. You know what I'm saying? But the illness, the diagnosis was given to me. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, that put me in a position to where I had no more money, no nothing, no income. And so things have been like really rough. We're trying to make sure that I got gas in the car, you know what I'm saying, food, because you only get so many food stamps, and just everyday things, hygiene, laundry, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
So people can ask questions like, can I bring you something? Do you need anything? Sometimes that they can ask those questions, because sometimes the patient may not be able to request. Am I correct?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
I mean, like, I want to know what, if we can let people know if they may have a family member who might be going through, but they're really not able to tell them what they need. Have you experienced anything where you could say, you know what, when I'm in this situation, it would have been nice if such and such would have came by and did this or did that or brought me this? Is there anything that you would tell someone who may have a family member what they might want to consider doing that could be helpful, even if they don't ask for it? I mean, these are some things that people can do.
Okay, so with that question, I get it now. So just a simple phone call, how you doing, bro? And then you ask them, do I need anything? I'm gonna tell you, this stuff right here, it's gonna break you down. It's gonna kill that pride. Because if you don't kill it, it's gonna kill you. Real talk. If you don't lose the pride, you might as well get ready to die. Because people, when they find out, a lot of times they're willing to do whatever they possibly can. Let me clear something up. I said I don't have too many friends. I don't have too many female friends that I deal with. I got one female friend that I deal with on a regular. Like I said, she's the one I count a lot. For his male counterparts, I got a handful of them that has really stepped up and did do. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 brothers back in Atlanta that I can count on. I got a brother in Dallas that I can count on. I got a brother in LA that has been stupendously.
Now, I see a good question that someone asked. Did anyone refer you to any cancer organization for resources?
Be honest, no, not really. They gave me this list. I called the list. People are saying right now, because I don't have any income and I'm waiting on disability and Social Security, they can't help me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have any income, and with no income, nobody's trying to put you in a house, and that's what I need. I need a house in my home. You know what I'm saying? I need to be in my own space so that me and my plants and my dog, we can do what we can do, and my kids can have a space to come and just chill. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing right now. Me trying to get this Social Security up and going, disability, so I can get into my own space and continue to do what I want to do, which is to grow cannabis. Now I'm doing more research into different strands that's going to help with different ailments that I may have, like the nausea, the insomnia. Because at night your mind is racing. I gotta go and do chemo. I gotta go and get baths. I wonder what they're gonna tell me today. Have I ate enough today? Did I forget to do this? Because the chemo makes you forget a lot of stuff, and I didn't realize it. A lot of people say it's weed. I've never had no weed. Every now and then I have a weed part, but weed has never made me just forget a lot of the stuff like I have as of late. So yeah, you need to just ask them, and if they don't tell you, I'm gonna tell you what they do need. They need you to come over, give them a hug, tell them that you love them, that you're there for them. Because a lot of times, if you feel like we're lonely, it's that depression thing. Like I said, I was depressed for the first time around because I felt like I didn't have anybody. The people that I wanted to be there, let me put it like that. The people that I wanted to be there, they were not there, and I felt like they should have been there.
Right.
That's the thing that I dealt with.
Right, right. And that's important. That what you just said. Go by and give them a hug. And if you are just coming on, we're on YouTube also, because IG may cut off in an hour, y'all. So we're on YouTube at Shout Crystal on YouTube, APW Shout Crystal on YouTube. I want to tell you that because IG does that cut off at the hour. So that means at 10 o'clock, it just will cut off. And so come to YouTube before that hour get there. But now I a lot of time people just have a hard time. Everybody's so busy, and the sad thing about it is I want people to understand it could be any one of us. Like one day you could be healthy and the next day you go to the doctor and you have a symptom and then bam. So we need to really be a little bit more sensitive. We need to take more time out. We don't need to wait till people get sick to start making sure we see people and know who they are. I see someone that's sending me a request, and Darlene? Do you know Darlene?
That's my mother.
Oh my goodness. Oh well, I can't deny her. I have to let her come in if that's mom. Most definitely. Oh yeah, most definitely. I have to allow mom to come in. Mom, make sure that. Okay, definitely. We can't deny mom. Hello, how you doing? I can't see you. Can you give us a little light? Are you driving? Oh my goodness, you're beautiful. You look just like your mom. You look just like your mom. Oh my goodness, she's beautiful. I want you to know your son is he's so strong. He's such an inspiration. And the fact that he decided to do this so it can help somebody else. I told him my story with cancer, how I lost my mom, dad, and my brother, and the idea that I wanted to do this so that he can share his ups, his downs, and anything that he may want to share. And I'm just so grateful that you decided to come on. Do you go live on Instagram often? Oh, that's so special. Yes. 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 Come on now. Yes. That's right. That's right.
Funny that she said that. I remember when I was about 11 years old, and she was like, "Either you gonna whoop him, or I'm gonna whoop you." And I was out there. I was getting my butt whooped. I said, "You better help your brother." My brother got along with me, and after that, it was a fair fight, and I wore him out. Well, she said, "That's right, whoop him."
So listen, I need y'all 17 people to come to YouTube because Instagram is going to cut us off probably in the next 8 minutes. Mom, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for coming in here and supporting your son. And look at God, because we were just talking about what a person can do, how they can show love, what they can do. And then you demonstrated it. You demonstrated right when we asked the question. You camed up. You said you don't cam up. So that's a demonstration. So you came through right when, man, that's wow. That's so special. I can't even tell y'all. Shout Crystal at YouTube, y'all. APW Shout Crystal, because we are still having this conversation. Mom, we want to be a support for him. We think he's a hero too. He comes out here, he inspires us. We see him, we hear his faith. So you definitely did instill a strong foundation of faith in him. So I want to commend you for that. And that's what we have to do as parents. We have to continue to speak that over our children. And so I heard what you said about the sister coming closer. Guys, if you're watching this, I hope you're getting it. This is what family does. Family has to make time. We have to make arrangements. We have to get uncomfortable. We have to rearrange. We have to be there for one another. Because we just never know. We don't want to be in a situation by ourselves. You know. That's right. That's right. That's right. The YouTube is Shout Crystal, APW Shout Crystal, APW Shout Crystal, because I know Instagram is going to disconnect us. APW Shout Crystal. Come on over there, y'all. APW Shout Crystal. Mom, I salute you. I salute you. We certainly do. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I know he appreciates this. I know he felt the love because he spoke very highly of you. And he said it when I asked the question. He said, well, I'm not lacking that when it comes to my family. He said that strongly. So he felt that love. He feels that love. That's important. That's because there's so many children out here who don't. And I'm sure you see people in the hospital getting those transfusions with no support, right? That's it. That's it. A mother's love. That's it. I salute you. That's the truth, man, y'all. I'm telling you, GMO, we so proud of you. And I thank you so much for your boldness, for your transparency. You know, when you talked about the pride, because men are prideful, Mom. We talked about how men are prideful, but also the powerful thing that I heard you say is how you taught them how to pray, how you taught them how to believe, how you taught them how to confess and how to speak that word. Those things, call them things as though they already were. You know what I'm saying? Call them, cast all your cares unto him. You know what I'm saying? Because if you believe it, you can conceive it, you can have it. You know, the Bible says if you ask, you shall receive. If you seek, you shall find. You know, if you knock, the door shall be open. So, you know, you got to ask, you got to seek, and you got to knock. Girl, don't start me up in here. You know, so, I mean, I'm trying to tell you, you got to have that inside of you. That's what keeps you going, y'all. So I'm telling you right now, I thank you, Mom. I thank you so much for demonstrating what needs to be demonstrated at the appropriate time. This is on the global internet. And for those of you who may be on YouTube internet, the mom showed up. The mom showed up on Instagram, y'all. She showed up in love to let her son know, I'm here. I'm here. You're not going through this by yourself. So if you're watching this, you got to understand your child needs you. Get over any misunderstandings. If they got on your nerve, that's your child. That is your child. You brought the child in the world, so it don't matter what decision they made, even though it might have been a time where the earring got to go or you got to go, but you forget all that stuff and you come back when they need you, you there. When they need you, you there. You forget all that stuff, you know. And so forgiveness is real. APW Shout Crystal, yes, all together. APW Shout Crystal, and you'll see it on YouTube. You'll see us live right there on YouTube. But Instagram, you know, Instagram be tripping, so which means this could cut off any second. But God, you know, God is in control. So if it don't, we already know who's in control. But I'm just giving you that forewarning in case it does happen, because I want y'all to come over to YouTube. GMO, how you feel with Mom showing up like that?
She's a mother, so I have to try to respect her at all times. video post-op surgery. When it's instilled in you, it's instilled in you. And so, yeah, I had a little sermon once I came out of surgery, and I knew it was successful. I had to give God his praise, thanks, because at the end of the day, it wasn't nothing but him. You know, for me to be able to wake up and see my sisters and my mama there, because I was I thought I was going to be there with my mom, but to see my sisters, and when I say my sisters, these are two children that my daddy took on when I was young and raised me with these girls. You feel what I'm saying? To see them there, to support me like that, man.
Yeah, and somebody else is sending me a request. Dope female, do you know who that is? Oh, you know what? I think she may have something that she may want to share. This Instagram may cut off, y'all, but I'm gonna try you. I think I know who that is. I think I remember her. I think I know who that is. I thought that was you. I said she's coming in here for a reason. Go ahead, sister. I know you're coming in here for a reason. So that's why I emptied it. If we get cut off, I might have to bring Instagram back because I know some people can't do this. But go ahead, sister. Introduce yourself and what is on your heart, because I know something's on your heart, because I know you're here for a reason.
Forgiveness. Forgiveness stands for facing our realities, greatest insecurity versus embracing negative energy self-truth. That's the acronym for forgiveness. Facing our realities, greatest insecurity versus embracing negative energy self-strength. And I wanted to echo the word time. Time stands for this is my energy. Wisdom. Working in silence determines one's maturity. Ego. Exercising godly obedience. And win. What's impossible? Nothing. You didn't come this far just to come this far.
That's right.
And how terrible is wisdom that gains no profit to a man that is wise? I don't have much to say, but I was listening to your story, and I will say this humble fact that he understands maybe a life's expectation. My name is Dope Female Trainer, and I am from Atlanta, Georgia, and I too have had a walk, but I would never want to impose on your story. I lost the ability to walk, talk, think, and speak on the concept that I was diagnosed with Parkinson's at the age of 32.
Well, I thank you because I know you were moved. I know you moved. I see the emotions all over you. And I know that a lot of times what she does, GMO, is she feeds off of the words and she finds ways to connect through the words. And, you know, everybody has a different ministry. And that's why when I saw her, I said, oh, I need to take that because I know when God moves, you got to flow. So that's why I let you come in like that, you know. And so I thank you so much because I met her when I was traveling and for the first time. So this is the first time I'm seeing you since then. So I know it wasn't nothing but the move of the Lord.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I hope everything goes even better for you. Doubt stands to destroy an opportunity utilizing bad thinking. So just keep your head to the sky and just know everything's going to be okay.
Yes.
And, you know, and like I said, God is good because he hasn't cut us off. So if anybody else who wants to come up and give GMO any words of encouragement about how his bravery has definitely inspired you. If you are going through something and watching him, it has helped you get through. Because a lot of times we don't know who's watching us. We don't know how we affect people. And that's why I told you, you know, that's why I did that. There it is. I knew it was coming. Yeah, Jimo, I knew that was coming. But 6 people are already over here. So I told them I was telling them to come on over. Man, that is so powerful. Your mother came, Jimo. Send your mom that link. Your mom can come over here. Send your mom the link that I sent you. Send your mother the link that I sent you to join us over here.
You said send that to my mother, the one that you sent me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, send that to your mom. Definitely. Definitely. No question. Facebook.
I might have to put my headphones on to be able to hear you because for whatever reason, this phone is giving me a low volume.
You came in loud. You came in real loud now. Like before you were low, but now that the Instagram is off, you came in strong. You came in strong.
In fact, hold on. I might be able to do this one. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
You can. And so Facebook, this is you're seeing the power of what happens when somebody is diagnosed with something. And y'all know I share my sister all the time, you know. And so I'm gonna mute you while you're doing that, okay? So y'all know I share my sister all the time, and I'm always making sure that we understand the importance of family, the importance of being there for one another. So I was also streaming at the same time on Instagram while we were doing this on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, because God made me a catalyst for hope. So, you know, that's it. So I'm trying to get the word out. So while we were doing this, his mom cammed up, his mother cammed up. Now, granted, she said that she never, ever does this. And so, GMO, I'm putting some comments up so you can see the people now.
I can't hear you, Crystal.
Okay, I unmuted
There you go.
myself. I'm
I
putting some
thought,
comments over here so you can see what some of the people are saying about the somebody. Miss Me said, I agree with using natural remedies. I've read a little bit about what's that? GUA Ganaba sour sop. Needing to read more about it. Sour sop. Never heard about that one.
me
So
neither.
yeah. So yeah, you sound real good now. So I thank you so much. And that was so powerful that your mom came. I just can't even tell you how that moved me so much to have her. And Miss Jonica is the young lady that I told you that once again she's over here. She says someone is always watching. That's right. Our youth are watching. That's legacy. Definitely so. You know. And I put it in there. She wrote it for you. CA 125 is the test that we said that you need to make sure you get. If you think there's been some cancer in your family, and when you're getting your blood work done, ask for the CA 125, you know. And yeah, so man, when your mom cammed up, that was just amazing. I'm so glad that our Instagram people got to see that. You look just like your mom.
Yeah, until you see my father. Yeah.
Okay. So both of
It's
y'all
like,
look like y'all you half and half, huh?
no, really, you have to see my father. It's pictures of him that I thought it was pictures of me. And I was like, I don't remember taking this picture. And I was like, looking at the people and the people around him. I was like, oh, this is not even me. This is my daddy. You know, that's how much me and him look. We favor. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because my son favors me a lot. You know, so yeah, that
Wow.
firstborn is something.
Wow. Well, I'm so happy that we were able to share this information with individuals, and I know that it happened for a reason when the young lady came up and she got moved. And
Right, right.
we inspire people. You know, you're inspiring us by just showing us your journey. And, you know, because I know it's not easy going to the doctor and having to go through those things and having to ask for help and do all those things. You know, I was just so impressed with your mom because a lot of times families are split up. You said you see it. You see it in the hospitals. You see people out there going through this stuff by themselves. Caregiving, a lot of people are stressed out and overwhelmed because one person is doing everything when there's a whole family that could be splitting the load. So if y'all don't get nothing out of this, y'all, please heed the message, what he was telling you about all the different things about men going to get those checkups. And, you know, he talked about the irregular bowel movement. Are there any other signs that you might want to bring up now that you go through these things? And what are you doing now? Are you drinking a lot of water? Are you getting a lot of rest? What are you doing now to make sure you stay on top of things?
Okay, so definitely got to drink a lot more water. I'm drinking alkaline water now. I just recently switched over to that with the lemons and the cucumbers in it. Got to cut out your sugars, man. Cancers live off of sugars. So if you're a heavy soda drinker or heavy juice that's not real juice, that's what they call that, some type of water based, and then it has juice. You want to kind of stay away from those and get you some real natural juices.
Sleep. What
Yeah,
about rest? Sleep. Rest is important too, right?
yes, rest is important, but when you're trying to provide for a household, sometimes you can fall short on that, but definitely you want to get as much rest as possible. You definitely want to watch the red meat intake. It's just not good for the colon, and sometimes we don't chew it enough for it to digest properly, so it gets caught up in there. What else have they told me? Your vegetables. Make sure that you eat lots and lots of vegetables. Right. Yeah, I killed mine earlier, so I need to get me another one.
Vegetables and leafy vegetables. There's a lot of things. I have a young lady that I do a live with, but she talks a lot about the vegetables that we need to eat and which ones we need, because it's important that we know which vegetables to eat.
hmm
It's so important that we have the right vegetables. We need the right vegetables. You know, I gotta ask you. I've been seeing this plant behind you. You know, and I know a lot of people talk about, and a lot of people don't really understand. So cannabis, you do cannabis, and a lot of people talk about that plant and how it helps. Talk about that. Is that medically? Talk about the research you've done and how that helps you. Does it help you with pain? And I would like to know a little bit more about how that is helping you through this process.
Okay, so with the cannabis, like I said, I did more study on different strands, and what people need to learn more about cannabis is not the THC level, but the actual terpene profile, and that consists of different things like terpene, lavender. There's different things that makes up terpene profiles, and those terpene profiles are what gives you your different ailment for the ailments that you may have, whether it may be insomnia, nausea, uh lack of energy, um depression, um pain. The Kush family is very good for pain. I like to try to keep a good Kush in my garden now, and I'm taking those leaves and I'm trying to start juicing them now instead of just smoking, because to be honest, I've gotten away from the actual flower and I'm actually vaping now, and I'm doing actual edibles, because I love my mother and my sister, and that's something that they just want me to stop doing. They feel like it'll help. I feel like the doctors ain't say nothing about me stopping. They told me to keep doing it because it helps, like I said, with the nausea, and it helps me sleep, and it helps with the pain. You know what I'm saying? I used the cannabis all the way up until that week and that last 2 weeks of radiation and chemo to deal and keep the pain away. But at certain points, it just gets too unbearable, and you will have to go to a narcotic. Um, Other than that, I'm using the cannabis pretty much for those ailments. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's it. I love growing it. I've got a green thumb in it. I remember a gentleman telling me that I was going to have this problem, that problem. I didn't have none of those problems really until actually I moved to Oklahoma, and the environment is a little different. The climate is a little different, so you got to learn how to adjust. But yeah, I got a YouTube channel, of course. I think um, that's dedicated to my journey about being a grower. I do, like you said, a lot of unboxings of different products that you can get to help you with your cannabis garden. Um, and I'm giving out free information that wasn't given to me when I started doing it. A lot of this stuff I had to read 4 or 5 different forums to get the truth, because you'll get 3 or 4 different suggestions, and somewhere in between there is the truth. So you just got to keep digging and keep digging. And so my thing as a cannabis all-star, you know what I'm saying? That's how I like to look at myself, as just a superstar at it. And I stole that from one of my friends. Shout out to my man Flamingo Jones, aka McNatty McBarbar. So yeah, I love what I do. I have what is the word I'm looking for? A love and a knack, not only for cannabis, but for vegetables, house plants. So that's why I need to get back into my own space so I can get back into my house plants and my vegetables. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I really like the vegetables and the fruits because I'm able to go out there and pull up, some fresh rosemary or some fresh thyme to put on my food. You know what I'm saying? And it tastes better than it does in those little shake bottles. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, those herbs are good for us. We have to go back to the natural foods. And the young lady put down there that sour sop is a fruit known for killing ourselves. We have to read more, people. We have to
Yes.
read more. We have to share more. We have to research more. We have to really check. And like you said earlier, we have to stay away from certain red meats. We have to eat more vegetables, drink more water, stay away from the sugar. I think I've heard stuff about white flour sometimes. The white flours, you just have to be on top of your stuff. And that's
And
what I'm doing right now.
like
That's
what
what
you
I'm
said, like you said, we got to read more and educate ourselves because that's what's hindering us from being able to be healthy and live longer. Like I got some friends that's from here that, that's going through some things. They're not going to make it. A lot of them didn't make it because they sitting up here drinking 2-liter sodas like it's a 20 ounce, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that iced tea with sugar, like you said, stay away from the sugars. And it's a whole nother thing that I do. It's a whole nother live that I do. I know y'all probably said she do a lot of lives. I do another one with a young lady, and she talks about that lifestyle. She gives you all the information. A lot of people have been telling me, like, Crystal, I see you. Wow, you look good. You look this. It's all the different things. It's the exercise. It's the water. It's the change in the diet. It's
the
a
whole nine.
combination of things. Okay, I told you I lost my mom, my dad, and my brother to cancer. My sister has had cancer 4 times.
Right.
I have said to God, okay, God, I hear you. Use me as a catalyst to go ahead and do what I'm doing. Meanwhile, I have to do my part, and my part is making sure I eat right and I do these things.
Right.
So, Gmo, I'm not going to keep you up all night, but I do want to tell you that I think that this will definitely help some people, what we have shared today. Anything
Okay.
that I didn't ask you that you would like to share that you think is information that is vital for people to know as you fight for your life every day?
Okay. So one thing I want to let people know what to expect when you're going through the radiation and chemo. You know what I'm saying? You can expect for your hands to, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but they're black. They're like I've been playing in oil. You know what I'm saying? And that's just to make sure you stay moisturized, feet and hands, because if you don't, once you stop it, it'll peel really bad. The other thing to expect is just being nauseated a lot. You're gonna feel like you can't hold certain stuff down. That's something to expect with the radiation and chemo. Um, Pain, you know what I'm saying? You'll have pain in the area that they're shooting you with the radiation. Um, with the radiation, wherever they're shooting you at with it, you will lose all hair follicles there, in that area. What else?
And that's good
More,
information, man. And that's great information, man. I thank you so much. I thank you so much for sharing that. That is great information that you're sharing. That is great information that you're sharing because that's what we got to do, y'all. When you are going through stuff, share it. Share it for the next person. You know,
yeah,
uh,
another
help.
thing, like you said, would be dehydration. You're definitely going to have to start putting more fluids in you than you normally do because the chemo keeps you in a runny stage, and so you got to take a lot of ammonium AD. You're going to be taking a lot of that. You're going to try to balance between having a constipation and diarrhea when you're dealing with rectal cancer. I'm not for sure anything else. We're strictly talking about what to expect when you're dealing with rectal cancer, which is ass cancer, as Auntie Gina call it. Uh, so yeah, you're gonna deal with that, and you're gonna deal with being very, very raw down there.
Wow.
So there's different things that you can use, like Vaselines and stuff, to kind of prep that area, but expect to be raw, expect to lose your hair, expect your skin to get black, your face, like all of this. But like I was a lot brighter than this. I felt like I was a little bit more sexy. Now I feel like I got dark spots and stuff, and then your actual body will start having different spots and stuff from the chemo. That's not radiation. That those spots that you see, the darkness of your skin, that is from the chemo. The radiation affects your hair, pain, and it affects the skin color of the area that they're shooting. You know what I'm saying?
So do they tell the family that? So the family, like if a person has a loved one, so they know what to expect, do they give you something to read that tells you to expect these changes?
Let me take that back. I said no, but to be honest, they give you this class and they go over the different things. I'm gonna be honest, I was so high I couldn't stay awake. And my friend that was with me, she took down everything and she made sure I stayed on top of it. Oh, another thing to expect too is sores in your mouth, sores in your nose. That's why my nose is constantly running right now. Sores in your mouth, sores in your nose. I use a product called Okies Go. This right here helps me with the mouth sores and stuff. It is THC infused mouthwash. I made my own tinctures. I'll show you how to do that online. I put that in different foods like Kool-Aids if I want to drink a Kool-Aid drink. I put that in juices, different things of that nature for as the alcohol-based tinctures. Oil-based tinctures, I use that in my brownies, biscuits. I make butters. I'll show you guys how to make butters online. I'll show you how to use distillate, which is this right here. Most carts are made out of distillate, and you can take this. This is the fastest and easiest way to infuse something because it's right there. You don't have to decarb it or anything. You just pretty much put it on there, let it heat up for about maybe 10, 20 minutes, and your stuff is infused.
So you have a website?
YouTube channel.
Okay. And what's your YouTube channel?
It is GMO 918 The Grow, THAGROW, The Grow. And yeah, I'm going to eventually put out some more content. I know it's been over a month and some change, but to be honest, I have a hard time finding encouragement to make my videos because my life has changed, and it was fun and easy to do. I was doing 3 and 4 videos, backing them up. But like I said, that mental.
You don't have the energy now. Sometimes you don't have the energy.
Yeah, man, my energy, like, yeah, after chemo, I got to be honest, everybody, after you, like with the stage that I'm at and they put this machine on you and you got to sit there and do it for 4 hours, you will, I promise you, the next day, not be able to do nothing. You're just going to be sluggish. That Sunday, I'm a little better. And that's the other thing. Another side effect behind this is if you get a port and, you know, you stage 4 or whatever, you can't drink anything cold. It's going to feel like needles going down your throat. They didn't tell me that. So you have to drink everything at room temperature, and then you don't get your taste buds back into whack until after maybe 5 to 7 days afterwards. And then you can start back drinking cold beverages.
Move back a little bit, Gmo. There you go. Perfect. So drink warm liquids like tea, hot tea maybe? Or just
room temperature water. My water is room temperature. That's the only way I can get it down. My Gatorades are room temperature, the body armors, and the Pedialyte. It wants to get you plenty of Pedialyte. Pedialyte is your best friend.
Electrolyte, right? It puts electrolyte in your body?
Yes. Pedialyte is your best friend.
What about Gatorade? Does Gatorade give you the same thing as Pedialyte or no?
For whatever reason, I don't know why Pedialyte works better than the Gatorade and body armor. Pedialyte just seems to give me more hydration than those two. I don't know what it is, if it's their formula, because I get the baby kind, you know what I'm saying? And then I just realized I got an adult sport kind, so I'm gonna try that when I get my stamps or whatever, you know. So yeah, it's like that's the other thing. Like I was trying to explain to you about my upside down situation. You know, it's just one of those things where I didn't have anything. I had insurance through the job, but I hadn't activated
your job, then you lost your insurance.
Right. I hadn't activated the insurance. And matter of fact, let me take that back. I was a seasonal at the company that I was working at. I was what they call a core worker at first, but I left to go into the cannabis industry because Corona had hit and they was letting people inside the trucks and not telling you that they had Corona, and you sitting up there like this close and y'all talking and they sick and you like, where's so-and-so at? You know, they don't even tell you, well, they called out because they got Corona. I couldn't keep dealing with that, you know. I just wasn't. So I left to go to the cannabis industry where my friend is at. I knew I had a job and I started there. And man, me and him, well, not no me and him. I made the mistake of allowing one of our other bud tenders to be in there by themselves because I was dealing with personal life issues that shouldn't have been affecting my job. And somebody stole some products, so I got suspended. And now it's like, okay, you ready to come back? And it's like, I want to come back, but I don't want to get sick on you and not be able to come to work. You know what I'm saying? Because some days I wake up and I feel like I got needles like sticking me in my stomach and stuff like that. And then I just feel weak and I have a hard time trying to eat because I'm just weak because I can't get up and get enough energy to get up there and fix me something to eat. But
So that's good. So I heard you say a couple of times, a couple of mistakes that you've made. Are there, if you could go back and change the hands of time, what would you do different?
Nothing, because time is now. There is really no past and no future. That's what I believe. Just due to the fact that, you know, your past is there for a reason. It makes you who you are. Either you can accept it or you can deny it and live in denial. The Bible tells us is a fool who deceives his own self. And I will not be that person. I know my past was what it was because of the choices that I made. I knew the difference between right and wrong. And when I was in that prison cell, I could hear my mom and my aunt Evelyn telling me, whatever you do in the dark, will come to the light. Because I thought I had it down packed. I'm buying them gifts and doing the most. I mean, couldn't tell me nothing, you know. And my mama told me, she said, son, I don't know what you're doing. I know you got your little manager raise at Wendy's. You're a manager now, but managers don't make that type of money that you spending around here. You know what I'm saying?
So she paid attention.
Oh,
So
yeah.
parents, watch and pay attention to your children. So let me ask you this, because I know we can go on, and I want to respect your time.
Oh, yeah. I
If
need to
there
realize.
was, if there was anything that you would want to share with people from a perspective of being diagnosed with the retinal cancer, with going through the treatment, with not having the insurance, I mean, what is the message that you want to leave? And what does GMO want to be known for? GMO's going to be around, we know that, but we want, all of us have a purpose. You know, we all have a purpose. Do you know what that purpose is for you? Have you figured that out?
That's a lot. I'm kind of stuck on the last part. The first part, I then got a brain fart. What I would like people to know about me is I'm probably the most transparent and most honest person you'll meet. Sometimes I'm too honest to the point to where, like, when I was trying to get an apartment, I was so honest that I didn't realize I needed to tell these people I make more money here and there and generate check stubs because I don't like lying. I just feel like when you have to be untruthful, you have fear, and God has not given me the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. You know what I'm saying? And fear is nothing more than false expectations appearing real, you know,
That's right.
and none of that is real. So I have to know that I'm going to be continuously be transparent with my kids and anybody that I come across. You know, I have a daughter who is bold enough to come and ask me, you know, what does it mean to have your cherry popped? You know what I'm saying? And me as a father, I had to be bold enough to be able to accept that question and not, what the fuck, you know, flip
How
out.
old was she? How old was she when she asked you that?
She was about 14, maybe 13. You know, they was doing the sex education. And then, of course, you know, you got the kids that's, you know, talking about what they're doing. I've been there. That's one thing I said as a child. I would never forget because a lot of times I felt like I was alone as a child, going between houses and my mom trying to keep a roof over our head, being the oldest and being responsible for the little ones and getting butt whoopings for them little rascals. You know what I'm saying? It made it feel like I was alone. I didn't have nobody because that was their answer to me, was to whoop my behind. I was labeled ADHD and I was very hyperactive. I would do things impulsively. And as an adult and as time went on, I learned how to control my impulses. You know what I'm saying? Because I know those things have consequences. You know, back then I wasn't really thinking about the consequences. I was just thinking about the fun I'm going to have right now at this moment. But that's who I am as a person. Have I figured out what I'm destined to do? At one point in time, I thought I had it. Um, can I say what I'm destined to do right now? No, I can't honestly say that I know offhand, my destiny, other than to be an honest, upstanding black male citizen, and to be an example to other young black men that you don't have to fall victim to the gang violence, the drug dealing, the crimes. If you just go to school and do what you need to do, uh, everything will work out. Another thing, if you're young, under the age of 21, and you don't have no kids, understand that your sperm is the most precious thing that you have,
Mm.
period. That's the most precious thing that you have, my brother, because the moment you give that to a young lady who's not mentally correctly right, you're going to have a fight for the rest of your life, my brother. So
Mm.
protect your seed, my young man. Protect your seed. Find the right carrier. They're out there. You just got to take the time to vet them. You know what I'm saying? Um, I can't say anything bad, negative about the women that I chose. They gave me beautiful children. We've done the best that we can to raise them. But one thing I tell my children, I've never make you do anything. And so when you get what you get out of life, know that it was your choices that you made. God has given us a free will spirit, and I've given you free will as a parent to a certain extent. So, yeah.
Wow. That that's deep. You said a mouthful when you talked about the finding the right carrier and making sure that's a responsible thing to do as a man. So I
Yeah.
thank you for that plug. And when you talked about, I hear that you take your fatherhood very seriously when it comes to your children, and I respect that because we need that. We as parents, we really have to be
And
very conscious about what we are pouring into our children
and
and
the
keep.
reason, let me, I hate to cut you off. The reason why I am like that, because I grew up with a lot of young men who didn't know their father, right? And so as young men, we tend to say stuff like, I'm not going to be like my dad. I'm going to be a better parent. A lot of those guys were their dads all over again. A lot of those guys were worse than their dad. So I pride myself on being a good dad. I got a friend that told me he envied me, and it kind of hurt me because I'm not going to put who he is because he's close to me, but it hurt me to say that you envy me, to know that I stuck it out and I'm being a father and you wouldn't do that, and you got kids and all you want to do is pay your child support. Like, bro, we grew up talking about this. We talked about we weren't going to be that type of father to our children if we had made a mistake or whatever. But, everybody is different and everybody has got a free will to do what they want. And I'm not here to judge you at all. I'm going to love you continuously, but I'm going to tell you, if you effing up, you effing up, bro. That's just my job as a man. And to my brothers that have supported me throughout all of this, I'm grateful to have y'all in my corner, financially, spiritually, mentally, because I got one of the brothers that helped me. He went through a kidney transplant, and I remember posting on my page. If you go back on my Facebook page, you'll see I'm campaigning for my brother to get a kidney. I didn't realize he went through some of the same stuff that I went through, and
Wow.
his pride kept him shut out and didn't tell me. And I said, James, why didn't you tell me? He's like, GMO, you're better than me because you're transparent and you're upbeat spirit, because it's hard to know that you got to depend on somebody. Like, if this stuff don't work, I got to depend on somebody to give me a liver now, you know? Uh,
So you need
so
to do a transplant now?
no, not now. We're going to try this chemo and hope that the chemo attack it and shrink it, and so that we can remove it and the liver will regenerate itself. But until we get the blood work back from this study that they're doing to try to trace the DNA of where it's coming from, to remove that from out of my system, we're just up in the air, and I'm his best friend for the rest of my life.
Wow. Wow.
That's how he put
So
it. He's like,
that's
we're best. That's what he
yes.
said. We're best friends until the end. And that, like I said, that broke me, because that's that 50-50 number that I mentally got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Even though he
Yeah.
told me that's not 5 years time span no more, I know that I got a clock now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I gotta make sure that I make every moment of my life the best moment of my life. Like right now, when I leave here, I'm going back over to my cousin's house. I've been here for 3 years, and I probably seen her maybe 10 times out of the 3 years. That's not cool. I got aunties and uncles here that I've only seen maybe once in the 3 years that I've been here. Not cool. I got a brother that found out on live that I'm dealing with this stuff. Not cool, GMO.
Wow.
Grow
Wow.
up and stop being a hermit and enjoy family.
So that's the message. There it is. Whoop. There it is. That's the message.
Yeah.
Families, visit one another. Go see
Yeah.
one another.
Yeah.
Communicate with one another. Tell one another what you're going through. Stop judging one another. Because a lot of times people don't want to tell you because you're being judgmental about it. And they don't want to hear what you have to say.
Yep.
So that's a powerful, powerful message. And I think that's like almost like a closing message right there, because that's powerful. That's a mouthful. I was going to ask you, what did you want to say as a closing comment? But you said it like that. I was like, man, that's it right there. That's
That's
it.
it.
Because
That's it.
that's the message you want to leave with people. Like, stop taking your loved ones for granted.
For granted. That's right.
And, you even though you may not have had a diagnosis, you really still are fighting for your life every day.
Every day, because you never know what could happen. A car could jump the lane. I watched a guy yesterday run straight into a pole, straight into a telephone pole. And I'm like, that could have been me, because I was going to make that left and I would have been right there in the accident. And, yeah, every day, just thank God every day that you get up, that he's giving you a second chance at life. And like I said, man, don't take family for granted. Go out. If you're in the same city with them and
Yes.
you got a hatchet, bury it. Because
Come on now.
tomorrow's
Say
not
that one more time.
promised.
Say that one more time for the people in
If
the
you
back.
got a hatchet with a family member, meaning a problem, a beef, let that stuff ride. Blood is thicker than water. When y'all get together, y'all was raised up as kids, y'all gonna fall back into those memories. I understand if somebody doesn't put something into you that you don't want to give nothing back. But if these people have imparted in you and you've been around them all your life, don't cut them off because they said your kid was ugly or your kid was bad. Some foolish mess. Y'all need one another. Family needs one another. And I thank God that I got the type of family I got, that they don't hold grudges too much. It's like, okay, Greg, you going to come back? You coming back around now? All right, GMO, how you doing? So yeah.
Wow. Man, I thank you. God bless you, man. God bless you. We're going to stay in contact, and I'm going to make sure Jonica is up here right now. So I'm going to make sure that I put her in contact with you regarding just checking to make sure that you have everything you could possibly need for resources regarding, because a lot of times people don't realize about the life insurance, the health insurance, the critical insurance.
Right. So what happened with that, I had the Obamacare or some type of stuff like that. And I ended up having to apply for the state sooner care because like I said, the job didn't keep me. I was seasonal at that job, and they were going to put me back on permanent and give me back my benefits. You see what I'm saying? But once I got that diagnosis, I couldn't come to work. And I tried to come to work the next 2 days later after getting out of the hospital. My body just wouldn't let me, man. And so it's like your mind can tell you that you can do something, but the body will shut down on you. I'm sorry. I'm a 6 foot, 230-pound man at one point in time, and you couldn't tell me that I couldn't do something. You see what I'm saying? My mind tell me I can do it, I'm going to do it. But if your body is dealing and fighting a battle,
it's not going to happen.
It's not, yeah.
Well, I'm telling you. So if somebody watches this and somebody says, hey, who is that young man? Because I would like to reach out to him. I want to bless him or something like that. How can people reach you?
You can reach me on the Facebook under Greg, Greg, GMO, GMOE, Fowler, FOWLER on Facebook. On Instagram it is GMO918, and that's GMOE 918. On YouTube, it's going to be GMO, GMOE 918, The Grow, and that's THAGROW. If you're feeling generous and you love a brother, you can hit me on the Cash app. at GMO 3000. That's $GMOE 3000.
And he gave you every kind of way, because sometimes people do ask. I mean, for
Yeah.
different organizations could see this later. Individuals, sometimes people, bless you, don't have any children anymore, and they want to do charitable giving, and they looking for ways to do. And you have a legitimate reason. And if you are not following me on Instagram, you really want to go to Instagram and watch when his mother came up there, because that was such a blessing. That truly blessed me. For sure.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
And I'm telling you, that blessed a lot of people for sure. And I just want to thank you so much for your transparency and for just letting God use you like you're doing it. I want to encourage you to keep going, keep going, keep going. And just keep doing what you're doing. Keep praying, keep believing, keep confessing, keep praying,
Amen.
keep believing,
Amen.
keep confessing. And keep doing what you're doing, researching and getting that information, and keep pouring into those children.
And that's probably where my calling really is, to be honest. Now that we talk about it, and you say that, is the youth. I wanted to be a football coach. I held myself back from doing that because all I needed was a 2-year bachelor's degree. I wouldn't go to school to get it because I was stubborn. But yeah, I'm probably going to end up working with the youth because I seem to relate a lot to them. I don't forget the stuff that I went through as a child and how I felt mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? It's rough when you're diagnosed as an ADHD child and you impulsively doing stuff, and then they put you on these drugs and you're high 1 minute, then you're low the next minute, and then the next minute you don't know if you're coming or going. I thank God for the mother that I had, because most parents don't pay attention to that. They'll keep the kids on the drug, and now you got a real mental patient on your hands. You see what I'm saying? Because the drugs had messed them up mentally. And my mama seen how them drugs were affecting me and told them people, y'all can kiss her butt. I'm going to believe in the blood and the belt.
I love it. The B&B, the blood and the belt. And when I did that interview with Dash Hudson, he talked about that. He talked about the numbness and how much he was just just medicated, and he didn't know what was going on until he got off that medicine. Once he got off that medicine, he could think straighter, he could do things.
Yep.
So we have to really pay attention to that. Well, GMO, I want to say good night to you. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank those of y'all that are still here, Jonica, Miss Me, and all the individuals here. And we'll be in contact. We'll definitely be in contact, and you keep the faith, man. You keep doing what you're doing. If this is your first time following Story Time, just look for us. We're going to be doing it on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern and Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern for those segments. We have so many people lined up. We've done over 55 segments already, so you'll be seeing it. Follow us at APW Shout Crystal, or you can put in Shout Crystal or my name, Crystal Bodie Smith, like it is on Facebook. And check it out. We have people who are sharing their stories like Gmo has shared today. We pray that you have heard something that's going to help you to mend some relationships, to get your health right, whatever it is. I mean, whatever piece of information was for you, grab that thing, hold on to it, and take it with you to the next level. And I thank you. God bless you all. Thank you so much, Gmo. Again, thank you to all the followers. We appreciate you. Don't forget, go check out the full interview on Instagram if you missed it. You will be blessed for sure. Have an amazing evening, everybody, and God bless you. And we look forward to seeing you on the next Story Time. Gmo, we're praying for you, bro. Keep going,
yes.
keep going.
Keep
God
fighting.
bless you. Take it
All
easy.
right.
All right. Bye-bye,
All
honey.
right.
All right. Have a one. Keep hope alive, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We got you. Damn, I wasn't supposed to do that on that. I was supposed to collab. I need to. Okay, so I need to grab that